What is up, Konnekt7 Tribe? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 22, Losing Yourself. Now, a bit of a preface. This is a very important topic that a lot of us have either experienced in the past or we're currently experiencing it right now. So this is going to be a very freeform episode, so I just invite you to just sit back and just listen. You may get some tips and some clues on how to find yourself again, and maybe you don't need to find yourself, but we're going to get into that. So first off, I would love to give a shout out to my brother Brandon Vickers. Recently, the podcast, as far as the energy, has been different, and it is definitely because of him. He not only behind the scenes have been like pushing me and supporting the podcast, but as you all know, before, the quality with the camera was he's helped with that. Also, have you been noticing, if you've been noticing, the last episodes, he's been adding like his own mix, so the different music and also just the editing of the podcast. So I definitely would love to give him a huge shout out, and bro, I really appreciate you. And for those of you who do not know, he was on Season 2, Episode 5, and also he is a photographer. So he just opened up his photography business months ago, actually. And since then, he has been helping a lot of people in the West Palm Beach area with photography. Me and my girlfriend, we got a photo shoot with him. He just opened up his studio, so he's doing like headshots. He's also just doing portraits, cool backdrops and things like that. So if you are someone who is in the Palm Beach area and you're looking for some photo shoots, or you're looking to just get some professional photos done, definitely hit him up. I will have the link to his website in the description below. And again, thank you, bro. I really appreciate you, because last episode, I was replaying it for myself just to vibe out to the music. I'm not even gonna lie. It was awesome. Now, switching over to the announcements, plans. So the plans, I'm also keep forgetting to say that. For those of you who are new, I am looking down because my notes are down here. So that's why I'm not looking at you in the eyes. It's because my notes are down here, and I want to keep on track, at least with this. So with the announcements, the plans for Konnekt7 Academy are progressing, and so soon you'll all have access to more content to help you better connect with yourself and to other people. So this will definitely really help a lot of those who are business owners, people who are creatives, and when it comes to just connecting with other people and sometimes yourself, that may be a bit of a challenge. And that is what Konnekt7 Academy is all about. It's just really to help you connect more with yourself and other people. So more content will be available soon, and the way it's looking, I'm really excited. So there will be, if you haven't heard the previous episodes, there will be online classes. There's definitely going to be courses, and I'll be opening up the one-on-one coaching. And there's just a lot of group activities as well. At some point, I will be planning out, I want to say, just like in-person services, or not services, but events. That's what I meant to say. Events. So we'll be having events at some point soon. We just got to work through how the world is spinning right now. So that is the announcement, and I look forward to releasing everything to you all very soon. Now, we switch to the fun fact. So, I found this to be really cool. If you guys know me, like, I love anime, right? Like, I really do. I'll watch me some Naruto, My Hero Academia. Attack on Titans, all of that. But I found this to be very funny. I didn't know this. And if I have anyone who is in Japan, please like shoot me a message and just say it's true, right? Or not. Just let me know. So, Japanese people use more paper for manga than toilet roll. Crazy as though it may seem, this is 100% true, especially as most modern Japanese toilets features bidet washing facilities rather than toilet paper. So I found that to be really cool. And I know, and this whole bidet thing has just been, it's been a topic lately. We're not gonna go there, but let's just know it's been a topic lately. But I found that to be pretty cool with the whole manga thing. I'm like, that makes sense. Like if you're using a bidet and you're not really using the paper, so why not put it into manga? Like we need that, I need to know what's gonna happen in these next seasons because y'all playing. But that is the fun fact. Okay, so let us talk about this whole topic of losing yourself. Now, the first thing that I do want to start off with by saying is it happens and it's a part of the journey. So let's talk about the journey, right? All of us are on our different journeys, our different paths, discovery, learning, removing, figuring out, deleting, all types of things. We're all in different parts of our lives. And when it comes to your journey, we also have to admit that there's other things that goes on with the journey. Family, friends, work, business, social, mental, emotional, physical, eating, sleeping, time for self, healing, understanding, patience. There's so many things that we're hit with, especially in this age of information. We're constantly hit with information. Technology. Don't get me wrong, I love my tech, but you got to learn to pause on it. I say all of this because living our life, especially in this time and age, there is so much going on and so much happening at once. Distractions, old people coming back into our lives, new people coming into our lives, new challenges. There comes a point where there are things that you knew about yourself needed your attention and it was time to end, but you just didn't for whatever reason. This is not to point the finger, but hey, let's admit we're all humans. There are some things we do want to end, but we understand like, hey, I got this over here. I would love to end this that I know is a little bit toxic for me, but these bills, I need to pay this first and then I'll get over there, right? And in your case, it may not even be bills, right? It could be the fact that there are people you have to take care of. You may be stressed because you have people that are depending on you and you can't even really have time for yourself, right? It may not even be family. It could just be things that are completely out of your control. And that is a big one. Things that are outside of your control, and that can really get you, right? And so I give you those examples to let you know that number one, we're all human. Number two, we all go through so many different things and everyone's thing is different. But the result, I would say, is still the same. And that result being that sometimes we can get lost, and being lost isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? And Brandon, actually, who I mentioned earlier, Brandon actually challenged me, I remember earlier in our relationship when he was saying, what is good or what is bad? And I understood it on a deeper level as well. But sometimes when you're in life, it's just like, well, that shooting that person isn't good. But understanding that person, that's okay. But like, that was bad over there, but you're trying to understand them, so that's good. Like, it's those typical things, right? The little whatever. But being lost isn't a bad thing. And I say that because being lost literally takes you out of the routine, right? The routine that you've been in, or the scene that you've just been stuck in for some time. And sometimes you have to get lost in order to either find, sometimes not yourself, but to find something that has been calling out to you that you need. I'm gonna run that back. So here's an example. There were periods where I was just so stressed with stuff and life, and people were bothering me, and I had to go here, had to go there. And it got to a point where I was just like, I just need to go. And so I just got in the car. I went to a state park near me, and it felt so good to just reconnect back with nature, right? And what I needed in that moment was that reconnection. And in that reconnection, it just brought the stress down, and it brought answers to me. And it was everything that I needed at that moment in time. Though that stuff that I was still stressed about was still back at home or wherever I was in the environment, but I needed that reconnection. And what I'm saying is nature was there. Nature was what I needed at that moment in time. And everybody's case is different. Some people, they may go to the water, or they may go to the mountains, wherever you are. Or it could be that there may be someone who was once in your life, you guys used to talk all the time, and it put you in a position where, I haven't talked to this person. Let me go check up on them. And you talk with them and you check up, and they're just saying things like that you're currently experiencing, and they're just a little bit further ahead. And it's just like everything they're saying is just making sense. And it was like, wow, I needed to, talk with you and things like that. So sometimes being lost is really just taking you out of the routine to get the things that you need, right? That's one thing. Another thing with being lost is that you need to be taken out of your world and into a place that's not familiar, so that you can really see what's going on in your world, right? You'll find that the things that you thought were good, or you thought that you needed to do, or you had to do, or whatever, you start to really see, wow, that's not really serving me, or that's not really what I really wanted, right? Sometimes being lost takes you outside of your own world, so you can see what the hell is actually going on. You may think it's good, and it may not be, right? Now, in the other case, sometimes you do need to be lost to find yourself. Some of us may have just grown up to where we never really got to know ourselves and understand who we truly are. And I'm going to kind of go hard on this one because I'm feeling the energy, and that some of y'all really need to hear this, is that y'all just been just, and it's okay. Let me say that first. It's okay. But some of y'all just really been thrown into an environment where people have constantly been telling you what to do, how to do it, what you should think, how you should think, where you should go, how you should go there. And eventually it has built this disconnection from who you are, to the point that when it comes for you, when the opportunities comes to you to try to find yourself, you get scared, or you feel fear, like obviously fearful, same thing, or resistant. And it's just a variety of things. And it just really just frightens you, or scares you, or gives you anxiety, or it's just very uncomfortable. You run from it, right? But I'm gonna let you know now, being real, it's gonna catch up with that ass at some point. I'm just letting you know. And this may be the time where you have to get lost, where your whole world might just have to be destroyed, because it's just like, hey, you got something you need to do here. This ain't working for you no more. So you know what? We finna destroy it all. You finna get lost. Everything that you were so familiar with and comfortable with is finna be wrecked, so that you can get actually what you need, because this wasn't really serving you. In fact, what you thought it was doing the opposite. It was hindering you. It was keeping you locked in cage. So in that particular case, that is the perfect time for you to be lost, because in that moment of being lost, you start picking up the pieces of who you are, right? I'm going to give you an example. The world goes through it. You're just stressed out. Everything's just a utter shit show. And you're lost. And next thing you know, you meet a person who may just happen to come into your life. It could be for that moment, or it could be a new friend, whatever. And they start talking to you just about some life stuff. And, you're like, oh, you have some questions. Like, you just kind of want to ask some stuff. It's something about the connection. And they challenge you by asking you questions about yourself. And you realize, damn, I really don't know this about myself. I probably should know. And here's some of the questions they may ask you is like, okay, well, what you're telling me sounds like something people have told you, but what do you want to do? Well, I don't really know. Like, I think I should do this, and I know, like, when I go here, like, if I did this is the result that I'm trying to get. And it's just like you're repeating what people have told you. What is it that you want? How is it that you really feel about it? And it's just like this ignorance of like, I don't really know. And so that is a seed that they're planting in you to, like, maybe you need to get to know what you want and how you really feel and how you really think, right? That's just one example. Or you may be in this period where you're lost and your emotions are just every fucking where. And the reasons why your emotions are every fucking where is because maybe you have been used to suppressing or pushing your emotions to the side to do something or make yourself do something, or you've just been told like, hey, that emotion shit, you need to leave that to the side. And so now you're in a predicament where you can't really do much about your emotions at the moment because they're just everywhere. And the reason why is because your emotions are trying to tell you like, hey, bruh, we in this. You can't push me to the side. You know how this is gonna go. You're gonna keep going through this unless you get the hint like, you need me, I need you, I'm a part of you. And you may have to understand that maybe it doesn't serve you anymore to push your emotions to the side. Maybe you actually need all of your emotions, the anger, the guilt, the sadness, the love, the happiness. Maybe you need all of that because you've been pushing all of that stuff to the side, right? Sometimes in our moments of being lost, we get very confused. We just don't know what it is that we're supposed to do. And that confusion serves you so that you can figure out your truth. And you wouldn't know that if you weren't really confused a lot. I'm gonna slow down on that. Here's what I mean. You can be very confused, not sure what to do, but a part of you knows the answer. A part of you know what to do. And you may either ignore it or you may be afraid of it, right? Because it's too unknown. You don't know what to do. You've been so used to doing it a certain way. And that confusion isn't going nowhere because it's trying to get you to tap into your truth. It's trying to get you to tap into the answer that you know. And it's trying to get you to start to rely on your own truth, right? And so I'm saying that with being lost, it has so many benefits, so many gifts. And I'm not even going to say it's not a bad thing. And some of y'all might go, well, damn sure ain't a good thing because I don't like this feeling. Well, God damn it, your ass better learn what you need to learn so you can get out that feeling. That's what I got for you. So it is an experience. That's the best term to put it in. It's definitely an experience, and how you go about that experience, really the ball is in your court. But I will tell you is what is the strongest thing that's happening right now. And I will give you this tip is ask yourself, how is it serving me? What is this? What is it going on? What's going on right now that it's really, this loud in my atmosphere? What is this trying to tell me? What is this trying to serve Like, how is it trying to serve me? And when you ask yourself that, it flips your perspective to not being the victim, but to now being the one that owns, like, to be the master. You flip from victim to master, right? And in that master state, it's like, well, how is this serving me? How is this making me better, right? And you're opening yourself up to receiving that higher intelligence or wisdom or knowledge. And so, being lost, sometimes we can be in that period for a long time. But I really want to go deeper into this, because I'm really sensing that I need to go deeper. There's some of y'all, okay, I got some of y'all in there, but y'all need to hear the deep, darker stuff. Okay, I pick up on y'all. Okay, here we go. So sometimes with being lost is that we're in a state where we can experience total and complete emptiness and darkness, and in that state our lowest selves and feelings are just running rampant. That could be the depression, that could be the suicidal thoughts, that could be the whispers in your mind of, damn, I'm tired, but this ain't no typical type of tired like sleep. Like, I'm tired of being here, I want to fucking go. Like, that could be the whispers of the thoughts of how you could do it. And then that could be the other whispers where it's just like, the world would be better if you did do it. Or, man, if I left right now, man, everybody would be okay. Like, the world will keep spinning, right? And sometimes, guys, we get so lost to where we're just, it's like there ain't nothing that can come in, right? People who's trying to be supportive, you don't want it, it irritates you. Or, you're just triggered easily. You don't even want, it gets to the point where you don't even want to get the fuck up out of bed. The thought of getting up out of bed is just like soul crushing. It's like, I gotta deal with this shit. I have to be alive again. Like, you wake up, and I'm gonna go deeper because that's what I'm sensing. Like, you wake up and you're disappointed that you woke up. It's like, oh, I'm alive still. And you have to slowly try to get yourself to do the basics of living. And you don't even want to do that no more, right? And I want you guys to know, I get it. I've been there, right? I've been there. But there comes to a point where I will say you have to experience that. There are points where, you really have to sit in that and get it out your system, right? When I say get it out your system, I really mean, like, maybe you do need to just sit there and just be depressed, be in a funk for a day or two. I know I've been in it for more than that, but still, you may need to go through that, because in that there's a lot of these emotions, there's a lot of these deep, dark emptiness that is trying to tell you something. I want you to at least get that part. Those deep, dark feelings are trying to tell you something. And your part is to figure out what. But know that once you do, I swear to you, everything will just flip like that fast. It'll be like, oh, I got it. I feel better now. Okay, like I'm okay to eat now. Like, I actually want to eat today. So I wanna sit in that dark moment, and I wanna, like, especially if you're in that moment right now, I wanna at least help you with that part. So let's just imagine, for some of us, because some of us try to avoid it and deny it, but for this sake, we'll use me as safety. Let's just say we are in that dark moment, and it's just despair, and I would even say there's a sense that a part of you has died inside, or you've given up pretty much, but you just haven't really told no one. So let's just say we're in that moment. What do you do in that moment? First thing is like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. Just identify it. You don't really have to do more. You don't have to do no work at this stage. Just identify. Like, what am I feeling? Is it emptiness? Is it just I am so over this world? Okay, I'm hearing stay on that one. Okay. Is it I'm just so over this world, right? I'm just so over living. Shit is just crazy. Shit is just hard. I have to do this to survive. I have to go to a place I don't want to do. Stay in that and really see what is at the core of that moment, right? I know for me, when I was experiencing I gave up like on myself. Like I was just tired of living, and it was just like, what is like going on here? What am I feeling? And it was just like, I'm tired. And it was just like, okay, I'm tired, but why? Why am I tired? And what I was just realizing, it was just like, I have this that I have to do. I have all of this that's happening. I'm aware of this purpose, but none of that shit seems like it's going anywhere. I just feel like when I try to do something, I get stuck. I feel like when I try to be nice, it just, I feel like I'm drained. I feel like I'm not doing what I want to do. And once I really just kind of just really just accept it, like, and let it just come to me, what I discovered at my core of those emotions was like, I was trying to really get to the core for you guys. It was just like, oh my gosh, like, okay, I'm tired. Why am I tired? And it's because like I knew that I wasn't doing or putting in the type of energy that I knew I could have. And what I was tired of was playing below my means, right? And not only that, but I knew that where I wasn't where I needed to be, but I also knew it was my fault. So it was a mix of stuff in that. And I challenge you all to figure out what is at the core for you. Is all of these feelings because maybe you were hurt, really, really hurt, and you just didn't allow yourself to forgive yourself? And this is why we're feeling this? Or could it be that you've been playing below your potential? And you've been, you did it, but you didn't know. You didn't know. Part of you knew, but you just didn't know how to do it. So maybe you need to forgive yourself. Or is it deeper? Are there things that happen to you that has caused you to maybe feel like you lost a part of yourself? And maybe it's time to get that part of yourself back. And of course, it's not going to be maybe that easy, like a snap of a finger, but maybe just understanding that I lost that part of myself. That part of myself was what gave me life and made me happy. I need to get that part of me back. And maybe it's not that 10-year-old you or 5-year-old you. Maybe it's time for what was at the core of that 5-year-old you or 10-year-old you. Maybe it was happiness and, vibrancy. But now you're here. What gives you that happiness and vibrancy now? And you can get that. Like, you just really have to just sit in it and identify what is really at the cause. Because you ultimately have the power to change all of that. But you just have to allow yourself to identify, allow yourself to experience it. Don't deny it. Don't try to fight these emotions. Like, it's just, and especially if it keeps happening, then it's just like your emotions are trying to tell you, like, hey, you need to listen here. There's something I'm trying to help you with. And once you identify what it is, you start to feel a little change, a little stir. Like, okay, well, this is what I want to get back. So in my particular case, like I said, we're using me, it was the playing below my means and my potential. And so when I understood that, it didn't go from a giving up. That's where I was. I gave up. Then that feeling of giving up changed to rage, right? And y'all have heard me talk about this throughout the podcast, but y'all just getting a deeper story. Y'all getting an inside story. And that rage wasn't at anyone. but it was at myself. And now I was just filled with rage, just all of this energy. It was like this fire in me. And of course, with energy, you got to do something about it. And I knew that I needed to channel that into my purpose. And so I was like doing that. And then that rage put me in a space where I couldn't act below my means anymore. And so once I went through that feeling of rage and I got to this space where I needed to be, then that rage changed to really understanding. And that understanding changed to, I can't do all of this by myself. And that I can't do all this by myself changed to, okay, things are we are all connected. And there's things that all of us, we play a part here. And then that changed into this adventure and excitement. But I say all of these changes because all of those were we'll say my ladders, the ladder for me to step up and get higher, or they were my steps, my staircase to get out of that space that I was in. But the only way for me to do that is that I really had to stop fighting it and really identify what was really there. But how do you even get to the identifying stage? Is that you have to fight or purposely put yourself in a position to not distract yourself and figure out what it is. Because sometimes a lot of us purposely distract ourselves because of the feelings that we're experiencing. And we try to distract ourselves with our loved ones, or some of y'all may have kids, and you distract yourself with, well, I got to be strong for them, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to just push this to the side. That's going to work here and there. Yeah, you'll get by, but at some point, you're going to have to face that. Kids going to grow up, and you not facing that, at some point, it's going to come back on that kid or your loved ones. I'm just telling y'all that from experience. I don't have kids yet, but I have those around me, who I do love and, greatly. And I have seen the things that I didn't work on kind of come back in a way at them. And I say, like, don't distract yourself with your loved ones, or don't distract yourself with work, or I got to make this stuff, like I got to get this stuff, or I got to hustle, I got to do this. Granted, yes, it's important, but don't use it as a distraction from what's really going on with you, because it will build up and it will catch you at some point. And I'm going to warn you, you better handle it while it's just emotional, because those deep, dark, emotional things have a habit of turning physical. Take that as you will. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. For some of y'all who are like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's just say a lot of pent up emotional stuff can turn into a lot of physical issues within the body. I'm going to leave it at that. So don't distract yourself. Take some time to focus. Take an hour or whatever time that you can afford, but you really have to fight to understand that and get that. There were periods where I've had to call off of work at the times because I really needed that me time for myself to stop distracting myself. And there were times where I had to not hang out with friends because I really needed to figure out what was going on, or that new game that I got, right? Here's the biggest one. Letting your gift actually be a distraction, right? You would think that that's not possible. I haven't heard no one say it, but that's one thing I've discovered about myself and other people. We just don't talk about it. Is don't let your gift be a distraction from what's going on with you. And to give you an example, I love helping people. I love, trying to help them figure out what's going on or connecting. And it would be to a point where I would focus on helping them connect with themselves, and I wasn't doing that to myself. I wasn't trying to figure out what was going on with me. I was like, oh, let me help this person. Oh, I'm feeling this inside. This person texts me, I'm gonna focus on them, right? It wasn't said that easily, but that's just kind of what it became. So don't let your gift or your passion distract you from what you need to work on inside. because it's going to catch up with you. Some of y'all can play with it if you want to. I'm just your, regular guy over here letting you know it's going to come up on you. So getting into this, back into the lost thing, because that's really a part of it too, is bringing this all full circle, is being lost is an experience, and it is a hell of an experience. And the tips that I will give you is sit in that experience, focus on it, give yourself time to figure out what you need in your experience of being lost, because all of us are different, and all of us have different upbringings, different traumas, different experiences that have led us to the point where we are now. All of us are in different spaces in our lives, and it's different for everybody. But ultimately, you do have the answer. You just have to allow yourself to give yourself the answer and give yourself the time that you need for the experience. So, with that being said, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. There is no gut check for this one, and I feel like it's been good. I really feel like I've been taking y'all there, but there's no gut check. I feel like the gut checks were in this whole experience of it. And I did get one question, and I'm trying to see where I put that question. I did get one question. Actually, no, I remember it. Where's Troy? Okay, Troy messaged me, and he said, how do you handle life? And he wrote in specifically, how do you handle life? And specifically, like, what do you do to keep that same energy that you have? And to be honest with you, Troy, I don't really handle life. I've kind of learned that I just experience life. And to be honest with you, I've learned that the type of person that I am, I'm constantly changing and evolving. That used to be hard for me because I thought that I was creating this pattern of I start something and then I didn't finish it. And that was something, even a friend of mine's actually brought that to my attention. And that was something that I thought, and I didn't like that, because I was like, well, I don't like to start something I didn't finish. But what I've had to learn with constantly changing and evolving and my energy changing is that all of those things ultimately came together. I started it, and where I left it at is where it needed to be. So once I got to wherever this other state that I needed to be in, it was available and it was ready because I've already started it, and it just flowed naturally into what I was already building. So everything was just coming together. So I would say to have that same energy, honestly, it's not even the same energy, bruh. To be honest with you, it's always changing and growing to the point where I'm just like, I thought last week we was on this receiving end. Now we in this pause. What's going on here? And it's like, when you need to pause, I'm like, okay, you want me to rest? All right, I'll rest. Or it goes from 1 minute we was pausing to like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to go over here and help. It's like, okay, but wait. So I'm gonna be honest with you, Troy, it's constantly evolving. So it ain't even the same energy. Shit, I be talking to myself sometimes like, bruh, wasn't last month we was on a whole different tip? Like, I feel like I don't even recognize who I am. And that was, where are we in? April. That was early April. But anyways, yeah, Troy, that's the answer. So I would say, instead of handling life, just experience it. And when you experience it, it opens up a variety of doors that you couldn't see when you were focused on handling life. That's all I'm gonna say on that. So with that being said, guys, that is it for this episode. I really hope you all got something from it. If you are someone who has been lost, I'm sure you can relate. If you are someone who is currently lost, there you go. You got tips, my man, my woman. You got this. So that is it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for really tuning in. I appreciate you for pressing play. Thank you for being great as you all are. I appreciate all of you for just really living y'all lives and interested in learning how to connect with yourself and other people. So I appreciate that. So with that being said, guys, that is it. I will talk to you all soon and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, guys. Later.